Okay. Okay. It is 2:02 a.m. on May 26th, 2024. And I am going to get this video made no matter what. I was supposed to make it earlier today. Some very, very bad things have been happening. And, so yeah, I'm doing it now. I'm going to try not to get repetitive. I'm just really frazzled. And so I'm just going to do the best I can. What you're looking at are some Hydra that have clumped together. About a month ago, I began looking at the dust in my environment. I had let my tray sit for 2 days undisturbed and just let whatever settled on it collect. And after the 2 days, I used the microscope to see what had collected, and I was pretty shocked by how many Hydra were on the tray. I had been aware of Hydra because, like a lot of you, I became very familiar with them a few years ago because they were being found. I'm not going to really discuss that. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. That's all I need to say. Point is, I've been aware of them. And when I was doing the rock experiments back in 2022, I would see an occasional Hydra. I never saw lots of them. I would see one or two, maybe three in at least one example. Normally it was just one or two. And it was just an occasional thing. It wasn't every day. It wasn't every time I used the microscope. It was just an occasional. And you're aware of Hydra because they look like a star or they've got all the legs. You know what you're looking at. So yeah, I've been aware of Hydra. So if this had been a gradual increase in numbers, I feel like I would have seen the gradual growing numbers. What I know is I would see an occasional Hydra, and then about a month ago, when I let the dust settle and checked it, it was shocking how many were there. And I'm at the point now where I can't set the microscope down on anything and not have a Hydra. They're everywhere. It's everywhere. I put my tray outside for 2 days in the backyard and just sat it on a black stool down at the patio, which is down near the lake in the backyard, and let it sit for 2 days and checked it. And it also had a lot of Hydra on it, so it's outside. It's not just in my indoor environment, which I did think could be because of all of this stuff I've been doing for the last couple of years with the Morgellons and the insects and everything. I've invited a lot of these elements into my space just by working with them. So I did wonder, is this just me? Or are all these Hydra here because of the things I'm doing? But I did check outside, and they were outside, and I took samples from some air vents in a truck, and there were Hydra in those samples. And the person lives 2 hours from me, so yeah, they've got Hydra in their environment, so it's not just me. Okay, so I was shocked by how many were there, and I was also very aware of these yellow balls. There were millions of them, and I mean that literally. There were millions, and I would say billions, but I think it's safer that I say millions because I can't. How can I say billions? I didn't count a billion of them. I'm not going to count a billion of them. There was just so many. You look at it and think, oh yeah, there's billions. So I'm just going to be safe and say millions. There were millions of these little yellow balls in the dust that I was looking at that had a whole bunch of Hydra. And so I was I don't remember. I suspected that they were eggs. And I did check pollen. I did check to see if it was pollen, and the first thing I saw were pictures of pollen with microscopic pictures. And the pollen that I saw at first, it was like barbs, like little balls with barbs all over it. I was like, no, it's not pollen. But then I went back and checked a few days ago, and there's different kinds of pollen. And some of the pollen is a round, smooth pollen. But this is not pollen. I can confirm that. Hopefully this video will confirm that. I don't have any actual imagery so far of an actual egg hatching and a little Hydra just, strolling out and waving to the camera. But there's a definite noticeable decrease in the number of the little yellow balls. And there is an increase of little tiny, teeny tiny Hydra. So that's, I believe the eggs are hatching. And I believe they've started hatching pretty fast because I haven't noticed the decrease in yellow balls and the increase in teeny tiny Hydra until the last 2 days. And this video is about that. It's about the eggs and that they're hatching. So these right here, these will be some eggs. And a lot of these are starting to get a different shape to them. Like where they were just a lot of round yellow balls. There's a lot of wonky, funky looking yellow balls now. And, okay. And a lot of little odd things. I'm assuming they are the brand new Hydra that are hatching. There's a leg. There's a leg. Like this right here. You can see that it's got these little things coming off of it. These little points. I'm pretty sure those are going to grow into tentacles. Oh, my head hurts so bad. It's been such a bad day. It's hard to look at this stuff. This is also one with the little new tentacles growing. Here's what I think is an egg and a tentacle coming out of it. Like it's starting to come out of the egg. I don't know how quickly they come out of eggs. I don't know how quickly they grow. If I'm still alive, then I will be finding out, I guess. Anyway, this particular video would be a lot easier to make if I just recorded a bunch of footage and then added the audio to narrate what I'm showing once the video footage had been recorded. That way I'm not just rolling around the screen looking for stuff. But that's not going to be how it works tonight. We're just going to have to wing it. And here's a teeny tiny Hydra, but it's not teeny tiny. It's just a little one. But I've noticed lots of little ones, and smaller than this, and lots of those little things I was showing that seem to be growing little tentacles. Okay, so another thing I need to mention real quick is to just keep in mind to notice the triangular shapes. Both of these pieces have a triangular shape to them. I believe this is, you can see where something's growing, like the little tentacles. So I believe this one is hatched. I believe this one is too, actually. You just don't have any tentacles, any little bits that are starting to grow off. So just keep in mind triangular shapes, because I've made videos in the past when I was doing the rock experiments and stuff about this reoccurring shape forming that's going on with the triangular shape. And I'm seeing it with the Hydra just like I saw it with the rock particles. And it's very strange. I'm just going to say it's very strange. There's something doing it. I don't know. Okay, that would be something stuck to the glass. But when I was doing the rock particles experiments, I began to notice these, oh dang it, these triangular shapes that were just continually being seen. And I shaved the particles off of a rock. So if one of the particles was a triangle like this, a triangular shape, just the whole entire particle, that would be pretty okay. It's just a triangle shaped particle. But what was odd is that I would have many particles, loose particles, that were being pulled together and forming into these triangular shapes. I thought there was a possibility that there was magnetic properties involved, or that it was a certain hydrogel that was involved that has the memory shape. I mean the shape memory, so that, I don't know how they do it, it's DARPA. But this hydrogel has shape memory, so it knows what shape it's supposed to form into. I don't know. That's DARPA stuff. But I did try to, figure out different reasons why these loose particles would form into triangular shapes. And, yeah, I really never got any, for sure, definite, aha, this is why that's happening. But if we look at this, and it's never going to be an absolutely perfect triangle. But we're going to look at this. And you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a triangular shape involved here. I know there's a lot of loose stuff, messy, but the main body of it has this triangular shape. Now this one doesn't, I'm aware, and not all of them will. But there is a reoccurring pattern of shape forming going on. It was in the cups with the rock particles. Now I'm seeing it with the Hydra when they're clumping together. And I see it in other things too. I'm not trying to get too far into that. This is just something I wanted to point out. The main focus of this video is about the eggs and the eggs hatching. The triangular stuff is just something I want to add in because it is something that's happening. And it's not just with these. I mean, it was with the rocks, it's with these. I've seen the triangles a lot. And I just want people to be aware of that. I don't know how to tell you what it is or what's doing it. I now suspect that there were Hydra in the rock particle cups that I wasn't seeing. I did see Hydra from time to time on occasion. But I'm beginning to wonder if the triangular shapes with the loose particles weren't being formed by Hydra. Like if there was some Hydras in there and somehow they're pulling the rock particles together. Because it's certainly happening here the same way it was happening with the rocks. I don't know. I'm going to leave it there. I will continue to point out some triangles as the video goes along, just to, reinforce what I'm talking about. The main focus here is, how am I at 13 minutes? The main focus here is the eggs and that they're hatching. And that there has been an explosion in the number of these things in my environment. And I've found them outside and in other places. So I'm assuming it is in all more environments than just mine. So we're going to look at some eggs. I mean, you see the yellow balls. So these are the eggs. And there's so few compared to where they were a week ago and a month ago. Now, I do have this video. I'm not going to play it because I don't have I have to have internal microphone on to record this. I'll just attach parts of it. But it is about, the video is about Hydra. And let's see. What I'm mostly interested in showing right here is this would be a Hydra egg, okay? And let me find, well, this would be a Hydra egg. This would be a Hydra egg. And all of these little yellow balls, they were nice round balls. Now they're starting to change. There's just change. So, here we are with
allowed to develop and hatch, and juveniles with transgenic tissue are selected. The final step is to produce a uniform transgenic line by asexual budding of the original transgenic animal.
Asexual budding means that each and every Hydra can just make more Hydra. That's basically what it means to me. Okay, so there's some Hydra. Now, she's working with Hydra that are in the water, true Hydras. I'm pretty sure that what I've got going on are synthetic Hydra that were probably created in a lab, and they're probably all over the globe at this point, just like the other things I've looked at for a while now. But you can see here, egg, mature egg from the Hydra. All I'm showing here, all I wanted to show here was that how the eggs look, and that I'm not just going, oh yeah, those are Hydra eggs, you know, for no reason.
Low battery.
Oh shit.
Low battery.
Oh my god, that scared
Low
me.
battery.
Please shut up. You are a low battery. Goodbye. Oh, it's been a bad day. Okay, I don't even remember what I was saying. Let me pause it and get my head back together. God, it has been such a bad day, and I can't remember what I was talking about before that happened. God, I can't. Okay. Anyway, let's just keep going. Okay, I want you to notice this also, since I pointed out the triangles. This circle. I think this circle is pretty super interesting. Because it is such a nice round circle, which is odd that this fiber just made this nice pretty circle. But earlier I saw this. This is also on the same tile that I'm looking at right now. And, I mean, I know it's not, let me move this one over. I know it's not a perfect circle like this one is, but I thought it was interesting, because it's so circular. I'm pretty sure I saw another really strong circle somewhere earlier. It's been such a bad day. Oh my god. Anyway, just pointing out the circle here, and not really saying you need to keep up with circles. I just think that that's interesting. What we're going to talk about are these eggs. So you've got one here, and you've got one here. This one is nice and round. This one's got a little cut in it. You see that? Now from the video that I was just talking about, these are also Hydra eggs. You see a round one here, and then one with a little cut in it. See, round and one with a little cut in it. Now this is the two together. That's not all of these. It just happens that I've got two here that are like these two. So I thought, you know, that's a good example right there. But yeah, but yeah, this is Hydra eggs, okay? I'm not just making it up or, yeah. Okay. Here's one that has a little cut. It looks like two balls, actually. So, let's see. And there's also some of these little yellow things that have turned into yellow triangles. So, I can't make it up. It is. Look, here's a little bitty triangle. And I'm pretty sure this is probably a brand new Hydra that's come out of its egg, and it's got a little tentacle growing here. we will see more of these little, and look, here's an egg, and it seems to have something coming out of it. And I know it could easily just be another little piece of something that's stuck to it or sitting beside it, but we're going to see more of those. Isn't that interesting? You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of those things that are being pulled out of people that are kind of clogging up the works, and they're finding them in people who have both taken the shot and not taken the shot. These interesting things are being, huge things are being pulled out of people's bodies. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't really want to say it. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know why I don't want to say it. Because I want the video to actually go online and not just be destroyed from the jump, you know. Oh yeah, eggs. Baby Hydra. That's what we're talking about. Here's something that has a little thing growing off of it. Here's one of the eggs with something coming out of it. Like I said, we'll see more of those. And we will. See this little tiny thing with the little arm coming off of it? Feel sure that that's a pretty much brand new Hydra. Something with a little thing growing out of it. Something. Another, well, not quite the same, but along the same lines as what I was saying. It reminds me of the things being found inside people. Pretty sure this is a baby one with its new little tentacles. Here's one of the yellow things with something coming out of it. One of the yellow things. Here's one of the eggs. It's been a hard day, y'all. Wow, that just looks like a party right there, huh? Isn't that odd? Here's something with the thing coming out. I can hop over to some part of the tray and they're just everywhere. For some reason I'm in a part of the tray where they're harder to find. I'm sorry, on a tile. I'm not on the tray right now. Here's something with a little thing coming off of it. Okay, well, I was wanting to find some of the little more fully shaped, but we'll come across them. Here's a little triangle particle. I'm also noticing, like, you see this hole, that dark spot? Noticing a lot of things seem to have that type of hole in them. Not sure. I think you can see that. So I might point out some holes along the way too, just because I need to point some things out. There's a lot of Hydra. There's so many Hydra. And understand that this is a mass of Hydra and the eggs. Both Hydra and eggs massed up together here. And there's just so many. It's scary how many there are. Okay, this is interesting because it's the second blue one I've seen. The first blue one I saw, I actually said it could be just a fiber that's overlapped because I've never seen a blue Hydra. So this is interesting. This one isn't quite as... The other one looked like it could be like this fiber right here, just folded and just in a funny shape. But seeing this, it clearly has multiple legs, arms, whatever you want to call them, coming out. And it's blue. So that's interesting and that's new for me. I haven't seen blue ones until tonight, and just one other one. So this is interesting right here. This is something... It looks like it might have hatched and its tentacles are still curled up. I don't know. I don't know how hydras come out of their egg. If they have their tentacles or... I don't know. Maybe I'll know after this. Let's go back over here. So yeah, just a whole bunch of hydra and eggs. These two are kind of connected through that line, which I think is interesting. That reminds me of how these have this line connecting them. And oh, I'm already at 30 minutes. Oh my god. Okay. So here you've got something small with little tentacles beginning to grow. That one's pretty wild. There's something with tentacles right there. There's something blue, which I would normally say is a fiber, but it's got this V piece here with things growing off of that. So I'm not sure. I'll try to keep my eye on it if I'm still here tomorrow. Cross your fingers for me. I'm sure I think they're trying to kill me. It's been a bad day. Triangular piece, little thingies kind of coming off of it that could end up being tentacles, unsure. Okay, here's one with the little thing coming out. I'm surprised I haven't seen more of the little tiny ones. I saw so many of them. Maybe they've grown since I saw them. I don't know how fast they grow. It would be good to know that. I would think they would take them longer than a day to grow. I started seeing these yesterday. This is when I became aware that, oh, these eggs are hatching. There's something changing. There's fewer of the little yellow eggs, and there's more of the tiny new hydras. So something's happened. Well, I keep looking for really good examples, and I'm just having a hard time right now. Was an egg, now looks like a triangle leg. A triangle bit right here. See, here's a little one. It's bigger than what, the things I was showing still attached to eggs. But this is what I mean. Like this and this. It's like a new, like it hasn't really formed. It's beginning to form. It's beginning to get its shape. It's definitely got multiple legs. Goodness. Goodness. I really am surprised that I'm not seeing more of the small ones that I was seeing. A good amount of them. And I think they probably begin like this. Like they would look when they first come out of an egg, like a little blob that is starting to get little appendages. Because I am seeing a lot of these. Maybe not right this second, but in the last, since yesterday. And just so many Hydra is just a little stunning. Like, how did this happen so fast? Where did they come from? Because if this wasn't a sudden change, I would have noticed a gradual increase. Because like I said, I was aware of them back in 2022. You'd see them and you recognize them. It's not like they're easy to miss. They look like a Hydra. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, this one's got something going on right there. I'm pretty sure had this explosion been gradual, I would have noticed more and more Hydra showing up. I really didn't notice it gradually. It just, boom, was there. I think that might be an actual, like a little mite. I'm not sure. Just because they have those little hairs. Oh, that's a leg. Okay, we're getting over here in the smudgy stuff. I don't want to get into that. It's too hard to see everything. There's one. Oh, she turned the Wi-Fi back on. Oh my God, I am under serious. It's been a bad day. Okay, back to it. There's something interesting that's purple. Two interesting purple things. Isn't that interesting? Sorry you have to hear my thought. Sorry, I'm talking about the most important issue facing humanity in our history ever. This is definitely, hands down, the most important issue. It's fundamentally changing the human species. We are in a man-made directed evolution, and there's no walking this back. Just to be blunt, I can't pretty it up. I can't. About a year ago, I understood, oh, yeah, this is too far. They've gone too far. We can't undo what they've done. They have effectively changed the human species, and we're just going to have to accept that as fact. And there's no. I believe that even if we went back to the Dark Ages and we killed the power grid and technology, it's still too far gone. We're also infested with this stuff that there's no way we're undoing what's been done. And so the best thing to do at this point, and I know nobody wants to hear this, but I've been aware for a year now that we're not going to win this. There's no change in this. And I think the best thing for people now is to just try to start looking for the pros involved in this, what's happening. Don't focus on the cons. I'm showing these things. I'm showing that these eggs are hatching. I feel 100% sure that the Hydra is one of the elements that are being used to bring in the transhumanism movement, because there's microscopic, and we can inhale them, ingest them. We can absorb them into our bodies. I feel very sure that these are not organic Hydra that you would find in water, because I'm not finding them in water. I feel sure that these are lab Hydra, which means they are synthetic bio. They're synthetic biology. They're not 100% true biology like Hydra in the water. These are probably engineered to be a delivery system, possibly. Also, possibly what I started off earlier showing with the one that I said reminded me of something that was being found in people. The Hydra, they have a role. If I'm still here tomorrow, and the next day and the next day, I will be working towards finding out what the role is, what the purpose is, what they are, how fast they grow. I'll find out as much as I can. I may not be here tomorrow. That's part of why I sound like I do. There's just some really bad people in the world and bad stuff going on. And hopefully I'll be here tomorrow. If not, it's been real. Sorta. Maybe not real at all. Who knows? The purple things are interesting though, aren't they? I'm seeing a lot of things in the last 2 days that I've not seen before the last 2 days. So it's all very interesting. And I don't want to start crying again, so... and I'm going to have to kill this video because it's already at 37 minutes, and I really haven't found many little bitty teeny tiny Hydra I'm surprised about. Because I was seeing a lot of them. It's so weird. I think I've explained most of what I had on my mind to explain. To show some comparison screenshots to show that yes, these are eggs. To show some of these things with that look like new Hydra. I've mentioned the triangles. I've mentioned several things. I think what I'm going to do now is just stop talking. It's making it really hard for me to... There's too many things going on in my head. I need to stop talking and just start looking at stuff, and that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, let's try to focus on the positives. We'll all be a lot smarter. You'll be able to work your devices a lot faster and easier. Humans are stupid and we do dumb things like destroying the earth and war and stuff, and that should not be so much of a problem. It's a little something right there. That's weird.